Hello, Aries North Node. This is Samara, your Feminist Alchemist. Welcome to your reading for the April 1st new moon of 2022. This is a general reading, so the messages may not resonate with everybody. Just take what strikes a chord with you and let the rest float away on a cloud of fairy dust to whoever else in your Aries North Node collective needs to hear these messages at this time. If you're feeling this reading, give it a like, a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to be notified when I upload. What is next? What is the North Node? You could be asking. I sum it up as a mathematical point in your birth chart that signifies your source of soul expansion in this lifetime. It also tells you where your growth opportunities lie. And once we accept our North Node calling, we can find soul fulfillment beyond our wildest dreams. I do have a short video that covers the general meaning of the North Node as I've been guided to understand it. That is linked below. And you could also check out the specifics of your North Node sign explained in depth by YouTube astrologer Astro Finesse, one of my favorite resources for North Node information and all planetary placements in the signs and the houses. I've also put that link in the description box below for you. So if you have not... if you haven't checked out my readings or you're new to the channel, I also did a series of pick a card readings as we moved into the new year. It's called Ushering in 2022. And there are messages from the fairies, the dragons, who else? The trees and the galactic family. So I did 4 pick a card readings that are good through... They guided me to about like a 3-6 month window, but really all of that great transition into the 2022, which is kind of the energy that we're flowing on going into the spring equinox. So those are still valid if you want to check them out. I'll probably post them somewhere in this corner throughout your video so that you can check it out if you are so inclined. So my North Node readings start with the universal energies that are on offer for you right now. What's amplified for you to tap into for your development at this point. And then, so I do that on the outer circle. And then the next circle, I do kind of your higher self, 5D self, what vibration it's sending out for you to reach towards for your soul expansion. And then in the inner circle, we do the 3D, what's going on right now in your practical, tangible world. Physical reality that is offering opportunities for you to make new decisions, new behaviors, establish new pathways in your life. And then, of course, I also ask, okay, how can you best make those moves? What is the divine's advice for you for navigating those 3D situations to bring you closer to that 5D vibration? And then I end off with, actually, I don't know what I'm ending off with yet today, so we will find out. Let's start with the universal energies. I am using Cheryl Harnish's Path of the Soul Oracle, which is all about fractal art. It's one of my favorite decks to use because there's always more to see when you meditate on the images, but you shall see. Always feel free to fast forward through the shuffling if you're so inclined. This reading is about an hour. I've gotten used to them being about an hour, so Aries North Node. Ooh, okay. Okay, sorry, I had to grab a tissue. Still winter over these sides. So, what cards do we have for you today? We have here Rebirth. I have a feeling that card's going to come up quite a bit in these readings. Then we have Friendship. Universal Connection. And Doves. Ooh. So I love that this came out as the first card, as it's the Rebirth card, and also number 13 is the Death card in the tarot, which is about great transformation. And what's standing out to me about this card is the red of the root chakra, like the really birthing from a place of where you find your security. Now, if you are an Aries North Node, then your South Node is in Libra. And that may mean, or that does mean, that there is a certain amount of comfort that you find in community, balancing, compromise. That could also, in an extreme form, can be codependency. Being codependent on others or others being codependent on you. And I'm getting from the Rebirth card that there's opportunity to be more grounded and more confident in forging your own path, and sometimes leading without consensus, so without all the support of your family and friends. So moving forward with confidence, I'm getting from this Rebirth card. But in Friendship 29, and I love that, once again, there's a lot of color speaking to me in this reading. I'm getting with the pink and the kind of the yellows in here that there's great opportunity to form new friendships. Pink is like the inner chambers of the heart chakra. So, and it's really a lot about self-love as well. So you do have a opportunity for friendships that are really based on who you are deeply, authentically. They'll be very much based in unconditional love and acceptance of each other, and it won't be difficult to navigate those things that kind of, that to navigate your differences, because there's such a deep vibration of respect between you and these possible new people coming into your sphere. There's also a great chance for self-love in this. I'll keep holding it up for you to see. Beautiful. 2 + 9 is 11. They're also saying so. Angelically, divinely inspired self-love, like you being your own best friend in those moments where you find yourself walking a path alone without, the support that you normally or in the past sought out in order to bolster your confidence to move forward. So there is a lot of also finding friendship in your divine team. Leaning on that support, because we do have universal connection next is card 43, which reduces to 7. There's a beautiful energy of finding your own way, or you'll find that taking your own path will actually lead you to the connections that you feel that you may lose if you take your own path. And definitely because of rebirth, there are people and things that will be left behind. But there's so much in this reading about once you take that step to say, I will be the reborn, dropping masks and things that don't necessarily work for me or don't really jive with the bigger picture I have for myself, that dropping those things and allowing this rebirth through will actually bring you to a much more abundant place, especially with regards to your relationships and the support that you feel that you want in your life. So this reading, this energy for me is all about having the trust to go through like the cloud, to step out of the comfort zone, to step off the edge of the cliff, and that there is a whole brighter, abundant, like they're showing me a valley filled with grass and flowers and springs and rivers. So it's a very abundant place, and it's a very peaceful place, and it's very fulfilling as well, and harmonious. So the universal energies are in this. Are you going to leave the disharmony behind just because, you've been holding on to it? It seems just because it was a comfortable place to be. That's what you're used to. And in some way, for some time, you're trading one discomfort for another discomfort, right? But at the other side of that discomfort is this great energy of, okay, now you're really like in the vibe of who you are meant to be in this world, or a more expanded expression of yourself. You're not limiting yourself. And when you're not limiting yourself, then other people and your circumstances will not limit you either. Like dropping your own limitations is the first step to conquering what your perceived limitations, external limitations, is what they're telling me. Okay, so we're going on to the 5D. This is higher self speaking to you. What your soul is calling out for expansion, to lead you to expansion. And for that, I'm using these two decks mixed together. They're by Lynn, Sacred Geometry, Activations, and Sacred Geometry of Relationships. So it's a big step. I'm just going to laugh at which card came out first because, I've been in that for a couple weeks, and it's interesting work. I think we're all in that. I'll show it to you before I keep shuffling. Forgiveness is the first card you got. Grace, card 24. Ooh. Sensuality. Okay. how do we work with that? Oh, I dropped a bunch on the floor. One moment. Okay, they say these are your 6. Well, you have 7, so I have to see how that works out. Divine Masculine. They kind of want there. That's interesting. Okay. So yes, you have forgiveness, grace, sensuality, sensitivity, reflection, second chakra, which is the sacral chakra, and divine masculine. So I think in general, I shouldn't really say I think, I feel, I've been feeling actually since the new year that forgiveness has been, actually since before the new year, but more strongly now. It's like forgiveness is a big theme, because a lot of the limitations that we have built for ourselves, or that we bind ourselves to, are because we haven't forgiven ourselves or situations of the past. And they want me to be clear that forgiveness does not mean that you're okay with what happened or with someone mistreating you. And you don't even have to forgive the person, as in give them really another chance, or it was okay that you did this, but you forgive the experience and release yourself. Forgiveness is your own freedom from being bound by the disappointment or hurt that you experienced at that time, and allow the possibility that the future can be different, and that you can have new experiences and form new imprints. And that is where the grace card comes in, because forgiveness is also about letting go with grace. Now, I know all this that I'm saying sounds like a tall order for many, myself included. So I'm not excluded from, this is not my North Node reading, but I'm certainly not excluded from that energy of, how do you really fully forgive? They want me to read what's on the card. It says, the frequency of grace supports our smooth adaptation to and anticipation of life's currents and changes as we evolve towards a higher version of ourselves on this earthly plane, bridging the divine with the human essence. And that is what they're highlighting to me mostly, and that is the anticipation of life's currents and changes, and adaptation and anticipation of life's currents and changes. When you are not forgiving, you are not allowing for the energy to be new, and you're not allowing for things to change. You are effectively keeping your vibration in a place that either determines that this is what the outcome is going to be, regardless of the, you're always suspicious. This is just an example they're giving me. So they're showing me an example of, you've been cheated on before, so you're very suspicious of your partner's activities when they say that they're going out. Are they going where they're really saying they're going to go? And then your attempt to spare yourself the pain again actually creates a circumstance where you're blocking the relationship's chance to be something much better than your past experience. And those type of reactions, what's the word they're giving me? They're saying triggers, but also yeah, reactive responses, like they're almost automatic responses. That is what forgiveness frees you from. We're like not even caring about whether the other person deserves your forgiveness. It's about whether or not you can let go so that you are not creating circumstances that basically end up meeting your expectations of being disappointed. With the sensuality card, with sensuality and sensitivity together, this is interesting. It's funny how when I do readings, it's like I have conversations with you guys via the divine that I don't normally have in day-to-day life. And so it's also pushing the boundaries of what I would normally say in a conversation. But yes, so sensuality and sensitivity are coming together. Sacral chakra and the divine masculine. This is to me exactly why they gave me that particular story about, okay, you've been cheated on. For some of you, that may be the case, unfaithfulness, dishonesty in the relationship, but definitely with the presence of the sacral chakra here, there are two things coming out. There is having experienced situations in the past that have caused you not to trust your gut instinct anymore. So your brain or your ego starts leading to show when you don't trust yourself, or you start listening to other people's opinion, which is just leading you, like, I'm sure we've all seen movies where we're like, stop listening to your friends, or TV shows. Like, they're saying the one true authority is you. So, there is a rebuilding of trust in the divine masculine. Now, you could be male or female for this reading. It's the same. It may be come in a different packaging, but there is a trust, reestablishing trust and a bond with the divine masculine. And it may, for some of you that are watching who identify as men or as male, seeking out what the divine masculine means, because some of you who are watching have had examples of toxic masculinity, and really we all have examples of toxic masculinity, especially when you look at like certain television shows, movies with heroes, the things that we also expect from those who identify as men, or that we call masculine behavior, and consider that, oh, that's just, boys will be boys, or that's just how men are. This is where the reflection card comes in. It's like, is that really the case? So that you may be called to that if you are a male watching this. If you are someone who identifies in female and you're female watching this, then you could be healing from some interactions with masculine energy that were not so pleasant, or that left you, or the reason why the second chakra is not feeling so hot. On most of us, there's something lingering in the sacral chakra. So, we're all in the same boat on this, which is why, like, for me, the universal connection card is coming down here, because a lot of the work that you're doing, they're pointing out that while it's very personal in nature, don't feel isolated from everyone else, because it's really, there are a lot of people in a lot of signs with different planetary placements all across the astrological chart who are all dealing with this corner of the energy, right? This universal connection, the balance of masculine and feminine, discovering the divine in both, and having that all wonderfully balanced in this sacral chakra, so that we can all experience sensuality and feel safe in our sensitivity. That is just a worldwide phenomenon. So part of the reason why they say that there's so much hope for you, and that you should stay hopeful in whatever it is you're working through under these themes, is because there is they want me to say, like, global impetus, global push in that direction. So once you've accepted your little micro part of the bigger picture, then you will find yourself surrounded with the support you need to for that transition, for this transformation, and it will be profound and bring you great joy. That's what they're saying to me. Let's go for the 3D. So what is really showing up in your life situation, in your tangible reality, that is giving you a chance to work through these layers? I am using, so this is just the major arcanas from a full tarot deck. So it is a full 78 card deck. The Santa Muerte Tarot by Los Scarabeo, published by Los Scarabeo. I can't remember who the actual writer is. But beautiful deck. And I just pulled out the majors for this reading for the purpose of see the major themes that are going on in your 3D reality in the month of April. We have the Justice card in reverse. I'll show you that one, right? The Emperor, interesting, coming right next to that Divine Masculine placement. The Devil. It went flying across the room, but we got it. It's the Wheel of Fortune upright. So you only have one reverse card, which is the Justice card. So I'm getting Justice card in reverse. We were talking about balance. This is a lack thereof. I'm getting, because you see he's got the scales. And in this, I like this deck, and I chose this deck specifically because of the feeling of the rebirth theme throughout it. And I didn't know you were getting the rebirth card today, so, you know, Thank you to my divine team who tells me which decks I should use. The Grim Reaper in this case, holding the scales, I'm getting that there is some difficulty. You're encountering, some of you are having nightmares or the resurfacing of memories of these things that you need to forgive. And the reason that they're coming to the surface at the moment is so that you can forgive them and release them with grace. Grace, I always find grace to be kind of difficult to define. It has so many nuances to it. I'm going to use grace as it's, denoted on this oracle card that came up for you, about it being like an acceptance of it was what it was, and I'm allowing the flow for things to change. Because in the Grim Reaper, calling it the Grim Reaper card, it's not even the Death card, it's the Justice card. The Justice card is also, and especially combined with the Wheel of Fortune here, it's giving me the vibe of, it's time for the tables to turn for you. And the only thing that is standing in the way of the universe being able to deliver that to you, your blessings and your abundance. They wanted me to say abundance. So good for you. I'm happy for you guys. There's a lot waiting for you on the other side of whatever you're holding on to for fear of reliving. To forgive, you do not need to relive. I should write that one down. To forgive, you do not need to relive. You can forgive without having to go back into the whole memory of it all. But when it comes up, you recognize that it is still present in your vibration, and go from there. I'm getting in the reflection card that journaling may be something that you should consider doing more regularly. And this Emperor card is sitting so poetically between the forgiveness, the divine masculine, and the second chakra. It's just right there. So these memories that are surfacing, or for some of you, there is someone who re-entered your life who is controlling, or you feel like you downplay your energy around them. So this may be someone who amplifies your Libra South Node tendencies of compromise. I'm getting the vibe of someone who makes you feel like your own instincts are wrong or cannot be trusted. And so you need to rely on, a father figure or a strong opinionated figure to guide you. And for some of you, this person doesn't actually exist in your physical reality anymore, but you still have them deeply ingrained in your mind or heart. They're in your aura. And you perpetuate the control that they had over you by repeating certain things in your mind. So this is why this reflection card is really giving me, especially This, I also find it very poetic how the devil came right next to the reflection card. And this is, the devil is card 15, and 1 + 5 is 6. This is master number 33, which I usually wouldn't reduce, but they're pointing me to 3 + 3 is also 6. So these are very closely related. The devil is how you, I'm going to say the dreaded thing, shadow work. Shadow work is not a bad thing. And it's not, doesn't have to be a scary thing either. Shadow work is a very productive, it's about looking into yourself to see how you limit yourself by keeping yourself attached to negative experiences or to things that you perceive as bad things that happen to you or bad traits about yourself, something that people made you believe is bad about yourself. I'm skirting around the issue, so I will say trigger warning for this part, and I won't stay on this topic long, but all of the cards here are pointing to, not all of you, but some of you out there, it's pointing to an abusive situation. And if that's the case, then seek out the support you need. This is not a medical or psychological diagnosis of any sort. And they also want me to say that that type of abuse comes in varying degrees. So this reflection is also, have you been victimized and blame yourself for being victimized, or do not perceive it as abuse or being victimized because it feels safer for you to be, like, to not fully acknowledge that you were, that your vulnerabilities were taken advantage of. So I'm going to leave that topic there, something to ponder. But it had to be said with the sensuality, the second chakra, the divine masculine, the emperor, and the devil, and the forgiveness. It's just everything fits into that possible storyline as well. And as I said, in varying degrees. The devil is seriously, though, about your negative self-talk and releasing yourself from any dislike of yourself and reflecting on why you dislike yourself or dislike things about yourself. Even the most confident person in the room has things that they dislike about themselves. It's all about how you treat yourself because you dislike certain things about yourself, and if you and how you act in the world, considering that there's these things that you feel are not so great about you. Where are we at? I'm just asking them where they want me to go in the next, yes, we're going to the Wheel of Fortune, but I just want to be sure that I've explained the devil well enough. They want me to say more about this sensitivity card in this corner. So I'll read it to you. The frequency of sensitivity helps us open to the world of subtlety and detail while anchoring in structural foundation, thus supporting us to become more fully multidimensional. Okay, so what they're saying is that why should I deal with all this stuff and reflect on, my negative self-talk and so on and so forth? It's because it's blocking your intuition. It makes you're desensitizing yourselves, and part of your growth, part of being able to be, a sharp decision maker, to be confident that you can navigate certain challenges and certain situations, is because you feel that, you have to start trusting your sixth sense, let's say, and your gut instinct. And if you don't trust that, then it will be even more, like, you won't feel confident enough to take certain risks, and you won't feel confident enough to move forward without a lot of support, like emotional support. They're there, you can do it, come on, we believe in you. And there are going to be times, like, the Aries North Node placement is one of forging your own path, which means that you are understanding, this is a Libra card, right? This is your Libra South Node getting in the way of you moving forward, and it can support you moving forward, but it can also, when you lean too much into it as a comfort zone, it can also keep you from thriving. So, to embody your Aries North Node life path, getting back into balance with yourself and trusting your instincts is going to be a major factor in how successfully you can navigate that. The Wheel of Fortune is, I think this is going to be longer than an hour. I'm sorry. Just looking at the time. The Wheel of Fortune coming in this corner with the sensuality and the doves and the rebirth. It's just, to me, it's a 10. It's the next cycle. Like, look at them as well. They're really, where are you on that wheel? The wheel is turning. Are you coming along with it? And you're coming into a time when you will be able to experience more joy. And the divine is like, we want you to be able to experience joy. And to be able to experience joy, you need to, allow the joy in, which means being more sensitive, dropping some of your defenses, and allowing it in. For some of you, this is a lovely new relationship, but what's in between you and this relationship coming in is the fact that your divine team says that you're not quite ready yet because your defenses are still up too high, and you may push something good away. If you are already in a relationship, some of your defense mechanisms are keeping your relationship on ice, from growing, and from you guys having a wonderful, sensuality is not just sex. Intimacy, experiencing the physical world, experiencing each other physically, showing affection, so they're saying that there's some blockages to that, but they're ready to help you let that go. that is all lined up for you. This is the Moonchild Tarot, and I'm going to get some clarification on how to bridge those gaps between what's happening in your 3D and what your 5D has awaiting for you. So how can you, what is your bridge? We have the Queen of Cups. This is going here. Queen of Cups. I don't usually get this card, but Moonchild. Moonchild is particular to this deck, actually. It's one of the bonus cards, let's say. The Universe, card 21. And the Five of Swords. Ooh, they want another one on there. And the Six of Swords. Interesting. This deck is well shuffled, believe me. So the 5 and 6 came about on top of each other. So the Queen of Cups is all about not mastering your emotions. It is, but the mastery is kind of soft. It's going with the flow. This is very much, the Queen of Cups to me is the epitome of grace. She's fully aware of her emotions and acknowledges them. And she never fights them because there is a whole world to experience and a whole wealth of knowledge about herself and the universe inside of her emotions. And so this balance that you're trying to achieve, you know, this card is telling me that you they're giving me the word sovereign, being sovereign in your emotions, feeling entitled to your emotions, letting your emotions be known. And if you don't feel that you can speak them aloud and them be known, you can write them down as long as you act in the world based on your emotions. So if you don't like somebody, don't hang out with them. If you're at something where they are ordering food and you don't like that, then say that you don't like that. Even if it ends up that, you know, majority wins, you know, and they still order that, it's still better for your constitution to speak your emotions as truth. Some of you, they are saying to me, will want to, again, this is not, you know, medical advice. This is just what the divine is telling me. You may want to go to talk therapy. And if not talk therapy, then a really, really good friend. Because they're showing me that the pink in her hair is the same as the pink in this friendship card. Being your own best friend as well. They're reminding me, being your own best friend. If you're not going to acknowledge the truth of your emotions, then no one else will, you know, no one else will. You have to be the first. You have to be the first advocate for yourself. Now, as I said, the Moonchild is a particular card to this deck. And it shows up with Sorry, I think I'm blocking my mic there. When sorry, I lost my train of thought there because I had to double check my mic. Moonchild shows up when the divine would like you to cultivate a relationship with the cycles of the moon. Now they're saying you're already partially there because the North Node reading has to do with the positioning, has to do with the moon. And okay, so they are saying, oh, with the Wheel of Fortune. Yes, with the Wheel of Fortune and the rebirth, working with the cycles of the moon, it could be as simple as releasing at the new moon and showing gratitude at the full moon, or new beginnings at the new moon and admiring your accomplishments at the full moon, right? So it can start there, right? Because now I usually don't go and recommend, lifestyle changes or rituals or anything like that. But if it comes up, that's what needs to be said. And this Wheel of Fortune, some of you are really destined to build up your intuition and your clairvoyance, clairaudient, clairsentience, psychic abilities in general. Some of you are really meant to build that up in this time. And I'm getting that some of you who have this Libra South Node, Aries North Node placement, that your Aries North Node is calling you to forge a path in a spiritual practice or earth magic, but definitely something that your friends and family don't necessarily engage in and don't necessarily keep in high regard. So the Moonchild is also like, whatever it is that you're trying to cultivate that you don't feel that you're getting the support for, find a way to integrate it into your life anyway, even if it's like secretly just under the light of the moon, right? Because it's never a secret. The divine is working with you. And they will then, and once you're putting in that work, they will bring the circumstances and the people that you need in order to support you. Your soul family, soul tribe is what they're giving me with this Dove card here. The universe, a chapter is ending, like complete cycle ending, and this is all coming by the reflection and the devil. They're like, it's so the universe here is telling me that you can bridge this gap by recognizing and saying, this chapter is over. I acknowledge that these things happened, but this chapter is over. And I know that there is new and better than I could ever imagine laying ahead for me. Having that hope and acknowledging that inner knowing that it's a bumpy time, but the reason it's bumpy is because we're tying up loose ends before we move on to the next amazing thing. That's a vibration they want you to hold and to anchor every day. 3 times a day if you can. Morning, lunchtime, and before you go to bed. Universe. Bridging the Emperor and the Divine Masculine corner over here. The 5 of Swords and the 6 of Swords. Oh. So I'm getting, you're going to have to face, this is probably the most difficult energy on the board at the moment, is facing this blame and shame energy that apparently it's not just you sending yourself. That's what's coming up here. Facing this blame and shame and standing very firmly in your own truth. That's more... Hold on, I have to blow my nose. Always when I start... The whole day my nose wasn't running, but now that I'm sitting at the table, it's running. So, Six of Swords. Yes. This is the courage to release all of those patterns, to slay the dragon. They're giving me the term slay the dragon. And recognize that part of that dragon is you. So especially if this person or situation is not in your life anymore, or these, whatever the negative past is, releasing attachments. First, recognizing what attachments you have to this story that you tell about yourself or that you tell about the past, and then being the master of that by saying, I release that. And this is, they're showing me the opposition of like the moon child and the Five of Swords and the Six of Swords, that this is not, it may not happen in one full swing, you know, in one full slash of the sword. You may have to come back again and again, which is why they're urging you to work with the cycles, because you know, they come relatively frequently, every 14 days or so, and, you know, release, receive, release, receive, release, receive, you know, so you can work through, you can start chipping away very nicely with the support of the moon. This is my lovely moonstone, by the way. It just keeps looking at me as I talk about this card. And yeah, and they're also showing me the swords, even though it's over here, like the swords, there's some saying about the pen and the sword. The pen is as mighty as the sword, or is mightier than the sword. Yeah. Reflection. Make sure you're writing, or make sure you're writing. Get a forgiveness journal or record it on your phone. But you need to process out this stuff that is blocking you from making the rebirth. So where am I going now? I would usually do these four corners as well. And looking at past life attachments. Do you want to do the past life attachments? Okay. So let's go down that road. Okay, no, they're saying it's not necessary to go down that road. I'm sorry, Aries North Node. I would go down that road. Usually I try to do a kind of a multi-dimensional aspect of this as well, like looking at either past lives or ancestors and how that is playing in. But they're saying that the work is already quite hefty this month, and so none of the signs may get a past life element to this reading. That's okay. I could tell that it was already, because usually I have all of that. Usually we're already at the oracles, we're already finishing the oracles by the 1 hour mark, but anyway, the divine knows how it wants to deliver its messages, and I am completely in alignment with that. So I am going to read your final oracles, of which there will be 3. first one we're going to look at is the Sacred Traveler Oracle by Denise Lynn. We're going to get a card for Aries North Node, and I knew it would be that one. We have solitude in silence, peace prevails. So meditation. And they're saying that if you feel like meditation comes for a lot of people with a heavy, like, I find it so hard to meditate. I can't clear my mind. There are binaural beats, solfeggio. I think it's solfeggio. There's guided meditations on YouTube. You know, it doesn't have to be you crinkling your forehead, sitting cross-legged, waiting for your mind to quiet. There are ways to lead yourself to there. You could also stargaze, right? So let me read the card Solitude for you. Okay. In silence, you'll find a depth of self-awareness as well as inner peace. This is not a time to venture forth with a new project or a new cycle. This is the time to step back and be still. In quietude, you can seek and uncover your deepest inner truth. Seek solitude and all will be revealed. No matter what is happening around you, you find serenity. The Sacred Traveler wants you to know your power is born in stillness. Sometimes the traveler is in such a hurry to reach the next peak that he gets separated from his spiritual source. However, when the traveler takes time alone, everything falls into perspective. Take time out of your day to be completely quiet. Take deep, slow breaths. Imagine inhaling vitality and exhaling all that is not needed. Affirm that all is well. Move past the chatter and chaos on the road of life. Be still and hear the voices of your higher self and your spirit guides. I think my battery is dying. One moment, please. Okay. What a day. Solitude. Well, there was a line there that I wanted to point out where it said, affirm that all is well. Right? All is well. Chapters ending, new chapters beginning. You have some ish to clean out of your closet. It's all good. You know, everyone has their ish that they're cleaning out. Some people's ish is stinkier than others, you know, but at the same time, I don't know anybody who does not have a doubt or a fear when they have to go into a place of, you know, shadow, dusty memories that they need to clean out of their system. So just know that you're not alone, and you know you're in this phase for a reason, and a very good reason at that. I'm going to pull now from the Enchanted Map. Now I'm even wondering if you're going to get 3 oracles. You may only get 2, but let's see what the Divine wants. Enchanted Map by Colette Baron-Reid. This one is read in the upright and in the reverse. It's one of my favorite decks. Okay. Okay, so I said you're probably just going to get 1 more, but it's 1 more. Probably you have 3 more, but it's likely just from this deck. I had 3 decks laid out, but they just want the 2. So One Ring Circus, and they all came in the upright, Rescue, and Mountain. So let's see what the One Ring Circus has to say. Card 15. You are always safe and secure and free. Oh, sorry. my bad. That's the next card. So don't worry. If that sounded good to you, you're still going to get it. One Ring Circus. You are capable and competent. This is so Aries North Node. You are a One Ring Circus. Independence is key now as you step into your journey today. Others may not have the vision or resources that you need. Recognize that all the wisdom you've acquired along the way makes you particularly competent, capable of moving forward with assurance. Self-reliance is important. Another aspect to consider is creating and maintaining clear boundaries between you and another. Be discerning about your partnerships at this time. When you know who you are and have a healthy sense of where you end and others begin, you're able to enter into the best kind of relationships and will attract people who mirror back your wholeness. Interdependent relationships are always mutually supportive, stimulating, and transformative. You can achieve anything at this time. Now, I know that we didn't go, or maybe I did, talk a lot about the friendship card and the doves and the universal connection. But yeah, this is all about, you tapping really deeply into yourself and being yourself so that you can be a beacon for, calling in those who are meant to be, who really bring out the best in you and who you bring out the best in, which means that there are some people who will very noisily leave your life. Some people will leave quietly, other people will make a stink about it. But that's why these swords that you got going on, the solitude and the writing, is also important to keep you grounded in moving forward. Card 16, Rescue. Here it comes now. You are always safe and secure and free to be yourself. Asking for help isn't easy for many successful people. However, that's what you need to do now as you expand your life. If you find yourself troubled, you can expect help with whatever issue is at hand now. You need only ask and assistance will come your way. The most important support you can expect is from Spirit. Get into a right relationship with the divine and you'll see that many conditions line up as if by magic to provide you with all the help you need. Ask and you will receive. There is no need to fear. Safety is a place within. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, I feel so much love in that one. So, I don't know if I need to say anything in addition to that. Ask for help if that means, as I said with the Queen of Cups, reaching out to, a possible counselor. Then be that the case, cool. First and foremost, if you just need someone to talk to, you could always talk to your guardian angel, talk to the divine. And if you want that to also be a part of your physical reality, just say it to the divine. I need someone in human form that I can chat to so I don't feel like I'm, going nuts talking to myself. Yeah. Start there, but make sure you ask. Ask for what you need so that you can receive it. And last but not least, Mountain. Coming at the end of this corner is a challenging corner. I'm not going to water it down for you, Aries North Node. This with underneath you have the Emperor and the Divine Masculine and the Five of Swords and the Six of Swords. And now the Mountain on top of it. It's worth the effort. They want me to tell you it will be worth the effort. You have the capacity to flow around any obstacle. This is the time to adapt. Sometimes you'll come across what appears to be an insurmountable obstacle, like a huge mountain that separates you from your success. You might think that climbing it or chiseling away at it is the answer, but why take such a treacherous, tedious approach? Be like the rivers that flow around mountains naturally. You'll move past this obstacle relatively quickly if you choose the easy way around. This is the time to adapt to your circumstances. If you do decide to climb, remember to take one step at a time, opting for the next right action. So they're saying that there's an easy way around this that's going to reveal itself to you. Now, do you want me to grab the last oracle? Will that give more? Yes. So you are getting another oracle card. It's the reading that never ends. No, I'm joking. So that's great. So there is a way they're telling me that there's a way around it that is, they're saying it's not painless, but it's quick. But the other way, climbing the mountain, is smaller steps, like smaller bites. It will last longer and it may feel like more tedious over time, but it is your decision as to whether you're going to flow around this or choose to climb. So let's get a last card from the Earth Oracle. Is it Earth Oracle? Earth Magic. Earth Magic Oracle. This is it. All the links for these decks are also in the description box, by the way. They are affiliate links, to be completely transparent about that, but you can check them out if you're so inclined. Your last card is Lightning. Power. And I like this one for you. It gives a great... Oh, where's the guidebook for that one? Okay, let me read from the book. I think this is my first time using this deck in a reading. So there are no reversals in this one. Okay. The power is available to you. The force of life itself is neutral. It is neither inherently good nor bad. It is how you utilize it that will determine whether it is ultimately harmful or life-giving and congruent with the will of spirit that pulses through you. What is required is awareness of your intention, your values, and your willingness to act on them under the particular circumstances of your inquiry. Although you may see yourself as using this power for good, do not allow yourself to get caught up in the duality of good or bad in determining your decision or actions. Through prayer or ceremony, you can tap into this spiritual force, and by paying close attention to Spirit's prompting, your choice will ultimately be revealed to you, one that is beyond your typical perspective. From there, you can continue to access this divine power that is the very force driving the universe. That is very interesting. So I'm getting from that, as an extension of this navigating the mountain here, that, as I said at some point, I got the distinct sense that some of you are coming into like psychic powers, spiritual abilities, let's say heightened awareness, and one of your ways of dealing with the mountain may be a very, let's say, for lack of a better term, let's say esoteric method. So it may have to do with Reiki healing, energy work, quantum hypnosis, alternative healing. Holistic and alternative healing is what I'm getting from it. It's something that you haven't tried before. So don't be afraid to look into other things other than this. Talk therapy, or if you are getting someone that you can talk to counselor-wise, maybe they're in a different cultural tradition or mystical tradition that offers different ways of healing and releasing baggage and negative imprints. They told me not to really call it negative. The things that are holding you back is what they want me to say, to release those things that are holding you back. So, Aries North Node, it is always a pleasure. And I feel like I've been away way too long. I forgot how much fun this is. So, I wish you all the best for the month to come. And until next time, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now.